time, we talk about the chaos energy frequency. The disease state developed to such a degree, everything is damaged. So the immune system is destroyed. The T cells, all the cortisons, and then your autonomic nervous system and your immune system, everything is total chaos. That's what it is. So in order to change that situation, you've got to change that frequency. You got to change that inner space, the geometry, vibration, that spiral, double helix motion. So to do that is most fundamental. What we can do is through simple breath. Of course, we have 108 different combinations, but the basic ones we have 9. The most basic is just 1. Start from that. Let's do that 1. Do you want to do with me? Let's do it. Okay, put your hands over here. And right hand on top, left hand bottom. Okay, lightly close your eyes. At first, we just simply relax, scan, observe ourselves from the scalp to shoulders, neck, and to the spinal cord and the hips. And then we scan again from top to the neck, chest, and the groin. And then we scan from the top all the way to the bottom. Just observe. Stick tongue to the up hard palate. Deeply breathe in. Hold it. Out. 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 Hold it. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Okay, so what we did is we did a 3 at the beginning, just relax, scanning. Then we did a 5, slow, and that's kind of Medibreath. Normally we do 9, but we did 5 today. Then we did another 3 catch up. So 2 catch up breath and 1 long deep breath. If you do 9, you do the same thing. That's basically it. So we start from that, very simple. And then we can get deeper and deeper. Let's get connected. And then we talk about this more in deep state of the healing. Next. Thank you. And then from that breathing, what we do is entrain our nervous system to the earth own pulse, to the solar system pulse, to the galaxy, the cosmic pulse. That's cosmic resonance. That's what I call great pulse. Extend that empty breath where the old patterns dissolved. The new frequencies start. That's health. That's new civilization. That's new OS. Depart from the old genes. There's a girl, what's her name? Angelina Jolie. Okay? One day I heard this news. I saw this little bit documentary or film, on the TV. And she wanted to do this, I call it stupid thing. Why I call stupid thing? Because we believed our genetic imprint is carried forever. Okay, if my aunt, if my mother, if my father, if somebody in my family have cancer, I must have cancer. So if they have death, and then I need to cut first before it happens. What a stupid thing. It's not that she is stupid, but it's because she just doesn't know. She's so wrapped up with the society's belief, so wrapped up with the outdated medical information. From a genetic point of view, old genetic point of view. But if you see from Tao, from epigenetics, we can change ourselves. We can give new expression. We can absorb energy from the sun, from the system, from the nutrients, and then we can change our lives. We can change our lifestyle. We can change our lives. We can have a new expression of our genes. The old genes is gone. It's buried. When new genes begin to give us a new rise of new life. Instead of stuck with the old genes, instead of being stuck with the old inheritance of the DNA. But of course, she just doesn't know. But because I love this girl. And I say, because I saw a lot of movies about her. When I say love, of course, I have a lot of connection, association. She lived in New Orleans, because I have a school in New Orleans. So what I say is that it's not she's stupid. The whole society is dumb. What I say dumb is dumb. Just like the movie. Because we set ourselves in the old past, dead information. The dead science. We believe science is dead. The material science is dead. Epigenetics, quantum physics, quantum science on the rise. But we think everything is determined. That's what I say. It's a superstition. It's not a belief system, but it's a superstition that I believe a superstition. That misbelief, that a belief of the past. Without a filter, without old lens, threw it off. To see from within. Here, I want to give you a few examples. Maybe you can see from that examples, from that case. I have engaged thousands of cases for the last 50, 60 years of my sharing of my own practice. my cancer patients from 1970s, and my cancer patients from today. Let me tell you a story, and everybody knows, and even our administrator from here. What's your name? Oh, Natalie. Your name is Natalie, right? Natalie met this guy. His name is Guo Jianwei. Dr. Guo. You know, he has his PhD. He has his science education. He told me that he would never get into this, what I said, because he never touched that, because he totally thought that was totally bizarre, totally misbelief, totally non-science, until his life is in danger. He was diagnosed with acute leukemia. And he was in hospital to test, and they said, well, you have to stay. So he stayed. He stayed for a whole year in the hospital, and he was dying. Had a chemotherapy. He got all kinds of things, and again, worse and worse and worse and worse. All his immune system is gone. At that time, he told me he did not even have a slightest hope of a life, because he himself doesn't want to live anymore. Most people die like that way, because the immune system is so strict, they don't want to live anymore. He was in the same situation until he got information from his friend who went to Beijing to visit him from New York, his old classmate. That guy told him there's an audio on the internet. Maybe you need to listen. So he told his wife, and at that time they cannot go to his chamber, because he was in the chamber, prevent from any infections. And they had some communication. He can, sometimes out of chamber for whatever that communication, a wire. But he still has a phone. That's good. That they give him a phone. So from the phone, he got the information, and he began to breathe according to that music. He breathed. He was on a tube, in a breathing tube, with all kinds of wires, and he's breathing. Eventually, he got out of the chamber, and he's breathing. And then he connected with me, with my group in China, and he began to breathe with the group, and he joined my class, online class. That was the first class I was doing in China, I think right at the pandemic, 2020 or 2021 at that time. So he joined the first class online with a cell phone. And I feel better. He feels alive again. And then they scheduled a bone marrow transplant. He asked me. Although if he didn't ask me, he probably already did. He said that done already. But he asked me, I said, well, it's up to you. If you want to do bone marrow transplant, I have no objections. But if you want delay, you may not need. The doctors thought I was crazy. Everybody thought I was crazy. Everybody does bone marrow transplant, especially on his situation. He was dying. God will change everything, especially bone marrow. And I told him why not to do it. At the moment, you can delay. If you want to do later, you can do it. If you test it, if you don't see the promising of your genes, the promising of your cells, the promising of your changes in your energy frequency. And then he delayed 1 week, delayed another week, he delayed another week, he delayed a month, and 2 months, 3 months. Doctor said, I don't know why this guy is doing what he's doing, but I have no idea what he's doing. But you don't need it. We just ignorant in that field, what he does. Yes, it is their ignorance in my field. It's in our field, the common field of quantum consciousness field. That breathing to empty the mind, to connect with that field, to vibrate together with that frequency. You know what? He got out of that hospital. He began to get the nutrition. He invited me to his house. He drove me all around in Beijing for 12 hours. That's 2 years later. 1 year later, he went to the park. First time, he cried. Of course, he told me I saved his life. No, I didn't. He saved himself. The universe saved him. He saved himself because he is part of the universe. That's what I see. So he came here. When did he come here? Last year? Was it the last year? Yeah, last year. Almost a year now. He came over here, and then we talked. And he said he pilgrimage to Atlanta. The Atlanta is giving him the life. No, didn't give him a life. Didn't give him a life. The universe gave him life. He gave himself life. And then this year, so a few days, I'm going to China to visit him because he has his 5-year anniversary. He's over for 5 years old now. So over 5 years old, he wants to have an anniversary because my first pandemic class with the breathing to meet the pandemics without drugs, without injection, without what we did? The immune shots. So, but you can provide your immune system, train your immune system, balance your immune system, harmonize your immune system, optimize your immune system every single day. That's what I do. Because I had an immune disease. I was born with it. But today, I'm working every day. Keep healthy. I teach Kung Fu. I teach Tai Chi. I teach kickboxing. I do tumbling. I do weights. I do all kinds of things. I eat once a day. I take a cold bath every single day. So, life doesn't have to be what the people believed. Yes, I was born in the 1950s. But people who were born in the 1950s, they think, oh, they were old. No, I'm young. I'm probably over 30 years old. Truly from the heart, from mind, from everything, from physical being. That's what I see. So from ICU, of Teacher Guo, Dr. Guo, to today, alive, begin to play tennis 3 hours a day. Last year, the end of the last year, he and his team won national champion of tennis called Masters Tennis. And he's a CEO. He's over 3 companies. He invested 6 companies. But he get out of the loop. Just breathing, just explore inner space, just open his mind. And he's happier than ever before. He's healthier than ever before. That's precisely he said. So he's organized my teaching in China for 5 years to the ordinary people. The IT, the CEO, the janitor, the teachers, the musicians, the scientists, all over China. They come to Beijing to meet me. So, to celebrate our sharing together, vibrate together. I see, life can be changed. That's why he does that every day, 3 to 5 hours a day. That's what he said. And his wife is totally devoted to him, to breathe with him, to walk with him. He used to be very, very, very shallow, very, very angry, very, very time demanding. But today, he comes with a lot of beautiful ideas without going into. He serves his company much better than he used to be. He only took different companies once a day, this company, one, the other company. He's alive again. That's important. 3 hours a day to not only optimize your immune system, to clean up your bone marrow, to empty your inner space of your 24 spinal cord, cervical cord, to give that energy, to give that connection, to be in alignment with cosmic consciousness. Not just a rational champion, because it's a physical, mental, conscious energy frequency champion. Your life, you're champion of yourself. So that's his end of that frequency of the disease. And Dr. Han is another example. Dr. Han is from Houston. When I work with him, every time he's in the Houston Medical Center, the cancer center, he told me straightforward, Dr. Han was deteriorating because he's a leukemia, last stage of leukemia. 2 years treatment, getting worse and worse, not getting better. His wife is a researcher of a cancer researcher. The biggest cancer center I know, probably most people know. I visited a couple of times. He cannot even sit for long at all. But we did it for 3 months. After 3 months, you know what happened? We did a sitting meditation, lying down meditation. We did a sitting, breathing. We elevated slowly, moving up, gradually lasted that Kung Fu from short time to longer time, to 1 hour, to standing. There was no way he couldn't stand. And he stand for an hour, over. He walk for an hour. He go to work. So everything changed within a 3-month time. It's not what I did, it's what he did. Even I told him what to do, he doesn't do. So what? Nothing happens. Everything transcend from that 3-dimensional disease state of the mind, of the leukemia, of the stage 4, to stand up with vitality, that need gongfu, that general gongfu. That's what it is. That breathing, that movements of the body, movements of the mind, the spiral in the motion. That's geometry, totally different from the old geometry. So that's what I say. That's what you can vibrate together. Doesn't matter you have disease state, doesn't matter you have tired state, doesn't matter you have a fatigue state, doesn't matter you have high stress, doesn't matter you have hypertension, doesn't matter you have cardio problems, doesn't matter you have depression. It's all from the inner space. We talk more next time. We're going to put this into different divisions about inner space science, the inner healing, and more exploration into deeper space of ourselves, from the unique inner space to the humanity inner space to the cosmic inner space. We can work together, vibrate together. Let's talk more next time. Thank you.